Not every film sticks its landing or even comes close to the runway, but one film has always worked for me. A film that never gained the respect of its peers or even a cult status. Yep, Congo. In 1995, Paramount tried their hand at adapting a Michael Crichton novel in hopes of striking gold. You see, in '93, Jurassic Park changed the game with its blend of adventure and sci-fi, while perfecting the mix of CGI and practical effects. This success put Michael Crichton on Hollywood's blockbuster radar, and Congo was to be his next big adaptation. Congo was envisioned as a globe-trotting adventure with a solid cast and top-notch special effects. This was to be a mix of Jurassic Park's sci-fi drama and an Indiana Jones type of adventure in scope. I truly believe its downfall lied in the aggressive marketing campaign and how it shaped the expectations to a movie it never intended to be.
Congo, where you are the endangered species.
Yeah, that's not Congo. The influence of Indiana Jones and the old pulp jungle movies are at the core of Congo. Its biggest strength is that it sets out with a light, even mild campy tone. This was the DNA on which the film was founded on. From Ernie Hudson's smooth-talking Monroe Kelly to Laura Linney's take-no-shit Karen Ross, we traverse through a film with these exaggerated characters dealing with increasingly ridiculous situations. I'm a guy who likes things a bit darker and more violent, but I can always appreciate a good time. And when a movie starts off with Joe Don Baker smashing a computer monitor in a high-tech communications room because he may have lost his chance at acquiring a new diamond and not the probable death of his son, then this ride can only go up. This was not what Paramount wanted when they bought the rights. But some stories don't translate well from the written form. A talking gorilla brought on a jungle adventure in search of King Solomon's mines would never be high art. And most involved were smart enough to know this. The tone would gladly be accepted years later, when The Mummy did the old school adventure thing, and one can even say The Rocketeer did it years earlier. But Congo's advertising tried to pretend that it was something it wasn't. There may be a pinch of B-movie salt, but I would never say Congo is a true B-movie. Too much goes right, but not in the way it should have, in context to what was probably expected. The story revolves around Laura Linney going after her ex-fiancé and his team. A team who is in search of a diamond that would create a laser that would revolutionize the telecommunications industry. She partners with a primatologist and his sign language speaking gorilla Amy,
7,
who is making a similar journey to set her back into the wild. We get the always fantastic Tim Curry as a sleazy Romanian treasure hunter, and Ernie Hudson as the mercenary expedition leader. It's an oddball ragtag group trying to work together to survive, with diamonds, lasers, and a talking gorilla. And you wouldn't think this to be on the more serious side of the film spectrum, and thankfully it's not. Just listen to Ernie Hudson describe the peril of a war-torn mid-90s Africa.
Whenever the leadership of one of these little Central African countries comes into question, they tend to just murder everybody.
Oh my God.
Not really. They live for the opportunity to settle scores, and they've got a lot of scores to settle.
He's able to quickly describe the ongoing travesties in a Tarantino-like syncopation, while nailing the dark humor. It's scenes like this in which Congo shines. Not only is Ernie Hudson incredibly appealing, but Tim Curry reminds you why he was everywhere in the 80s and 90s. He's the movie's sleazy, nondescript Eastern European, whose supposed Romanian accent is more in line with a Bond villain than any Romanian I've ever met.
Trick is to quit while you're still ahead.
3 now of the chains of Ceausescu, traveling the world, doing good.
And that's the point. A wise man once said, if your film ever needed a villain, you called up Dennis,
I'll fuck anything that moves!
Hopper. And though I won't disagree, for my generation, that man was Tim Curry.
How'd you do,
This isn't a leading role, or is he the antagonist? But goddamn if he isn't over-the-top evil.
No, no, the diamonds are here.
Is that not the dialogue written for a villain? Tim Curry is the rug that ties the jungle room together, and you can't help but love every scene he's in. Hell, my favorite line in the entire film has to do with him eating cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
With a solid cast of great character actors, the only real flaw of Congo might be in the execution of the driving plot point, the talking gorilla Amy. Because of the evolution of CGI and how Jurassic Park perfectly tapped into it, the idea was to use the same techniques with the gorillas here. It soon became obvious that while they could convincingly do reptile skin, they could not pull off hair, and so they opted for the tried and true guy in a gorilla suit. And funny enough, back in '81, when Michael Crichton was attached to bring his own book to the big screen, the idea of a guy in a gorilla suit was the breaking point. If it could not be a real gorilla, then it couldn't be done, period. And he walked. With CGI no longer an option, Paramount commissioned the master of practical effects, Stan Winston. But it didn't quite work out. And in Stan Winston's own words, "A lot of what we did in Congo was interesting, but it didn't do what I had wanted to do, which was prove that we could do terrific gorillas." And yes, the gorillas were never at the level of amazement that one would expect from a summer blockbuster, armed with Stan Winston. Amy had a girl in a gorilla suit feel, and though I was never too bothered by her, she is irritating for the most part, and is a serious point of pain for most people. The sign language robotic voice is too cutesy, and played for mostly laughs, and it doesn't do the film any favors. Drinking a martini, or somehow tandem skydiving, it's always unnecessarily ridiculous, and works against the adventure quest setup the movie is trying to sell. I'd argue the one thing that still looks great are the murderous gray gorillas. They were presented as an actual threat, and delivered on it. I can understand why they were used sparingly. The Jaws effect, and all this climax in the best possible way. The gray gorillas versus machine guns, a laser, and a volcano. The ending scene is complete blast. If you were holding out for a more dramatic or subtle ending, then this film was never for you. And that's the point. If this film was made today, and they were keeping in line with the tone and style, James Gunn would direct it and The Rock would star in it. Congo was imagined to become something it couldn't achieve, at least not in the mid-90s, and that has haunted the film ever since. I'm standing here, asking you to try and see what I have always seen. You won't be moved, and you won't question any deep themes on the meaning of language or the cost of greed, but can you let go and take the ride? You must try and see Congo for what it is at its very core. A fun and easy globe-trotting adventure film with a light tone led by terrific character actors and Laura fucking Linney.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. We're an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.